Why are my eyes swollen, you ask? Oh, funny you should ask. I burst into tears last night over someone that I didn't even want. But he ghosted me. So now I want him. Now I want him. Now I'm ruminating and obsessing about it all night long.
It's been a hot minute since I've been here on TikTok, but I wanted to pop on to say, I just got ghosted by a 52-year-old man. I rank it a 0 out of 10 as far as experiences go. And yeah, highly do not recommend.
Welcome back. Today's episode isn't centered on just one person's story. Instead, it follows two women whose experiences reflect a broader conversation about dating, relationships, and how those experiences are shared online. Both openly describe feeling overlooked after years of believing they would eventually find lasting partnership. In their own words, they talk about becoming invisible as they navigate a different stage of life and changing expectations. Rather than focusing on a single moment, we'll examine how their perspectives evolved over time, comparing what they expected with what they later experienced. Their stories offer a window into the realities, challenges, and reflections that come with changing relationships and shifting priorities. Let's take a closer look at what each of them chose to share.
College, when all you had to do was get blackout drunk on any given night, the night of your choosing, in order to find like a hot, jacked guy. Now when I see a guy who's jacked, I'm like, that's so nostalgic. I used to have my absolute pick of the litter with you, and now at 33 years old, I'm traipsing around the city in high heels trying to find a fucking bar that will let me in, and then also trying to find a guy who's like hot and jacked, and like I have to care about like personality in your job now. Like, are you ambitious? Because like I have to actually want to spend time with you. Whereas in college, like all you had to care about was, are you hot? Like, I miss those days.
She reflects on a period in her life when dating felt effortless and spontaneous, describing a lifestyle where attraction and the excitement of the moment often guided her choices more than long-term compatibility. Looking back years later, she acknowledges that her priorities have changed. The qualities she now values in a partner are different from what mattered to her before, and she realizes that meaningful relationships often involve deeper expectations than they once did. Her story highlights how dating preferences can evolve over time. What once seemed simple may later give way to a greater appreciation for compatibility, shared values, and lasting commitment.
So I have decided to give up on pursuing relationships. And the reason why I've decided this is, oh my God, not a whole bunch of them, but there's a few reasons.
Let's hear it.
One is that I'm in my 50s, and I find that for me, 50s is the invisible age when it comes to women. This is just my viewpoint, and it seems like my experience. And it seemed like men in their 50s want to date women in their 40s, and men in their 40s want to date women in their 40s and 30s. In 20s, and the same thing with men in their 50s, but nobody touches 50s for women. It's like we're done for. And of course we're not, but society, you know how that works, right? And so I was on a dating app, and I realized that the men who were attracted to me, I wasn't attracted to them, and the men who I was attracted to were not attracted to me. And so that was very difficult. I did talk to a few of the men that I wasn't immediately attracted to because I read through their profiles. But I find that when I talk to them, they were great people. It's just that I gotta be physically attracted as well, right? And so I take care of myself. I'm very physically active. I like to work out.
That's good.
I like to run. I'm always on the go. I mean, I'm on the same type of goal I was on when I was 35 and 36, 37, 38. I'm not on the relaxation go where, I'm just going to go to a jazz club or get a lawn chair and listen to some blues. I ain't there. That's just not my thing. I am on the go. And so I'm looking for someone with the same energy level. But the ones that have the same energy level aren't interested in me. So that's the funny part. And then, there are the men who have been married and they're done. They've been married once, twice, 3 times. They've paid alimony, child support, and they're done with that.
Right.
They're thinking about their future and their retirement, and they cannot take the chance on losing money like that. So it's either cheaper to keep her or just don't get married. I agree with them. I really do. And so I get it. But that's just one of the reasons why I'm just sort of kind of tired of the pursuit, right? And then, I mean, there's so many other reasons, but I think those are most of the reasons. And the other thing is that I want someone who's able to accept me right where I am. And when I say where I am, how I look, and not ask me to change my hair or my clothes. I can't do.
So I'll admit, I am a little lonely lately. I don't know. I just am. I think I'm also like a little down or whatever. But I would love to meet somebody, but I don't feel like really putting forth the effort. I know that sounds bad. I went on Facebook dating a little bit today, and oh my God, it's terrible. I don't know how I ever met so many people on there. Like, I met a lot of nice guys, and some like were not for me, and some remained friends, and some like I was with for a little bit and I liked, and some quality men that I'm still friends with. But oh my God, it's just a mess. Like, my skits are not a lie. They're not at all. But I'll admit, I'm kind of lonely. But I don't really feel like making the effort of going to sit at like a high-end bar restaurant. Not like a bar. Like, I'm not talking about like a random bar, but like a nice like restaurant. Like, I don't know, Ruth's Chris or STK at Disney Springs or something like nice, and sit there and just have a drink or dinner or whatever, and possibly I'll meet somebody that way. I just don't really feel like doing that. So I need like the Kool-Aid man in the form of like a great guy to either come through my front door, or I don't know, I'm not sure I'm going to meet someone, or, and this is going to sound weird, I kind of want to just be with someone I was with before, like, and just hang out and have a good time and do things together or whatever. I don't really feel like meeting somebody new either, unless they're going to be really great for me. I don't know, I haven't dated since like end of July last year. I just was having like a few bad dates, one after the other, just not clicking, not like bad dates, just like I didn't feel any chemistry or whatever. So I don't know, I'm a little lonely, but I kind of just want someone I've been with before and kind of just someone to do things with, but that I am attracted to. Is that asking too much?
As the discussion continues, she acknowledges that she understands why some people become more cautious about commitment after difficult relationships. Rather than dismissing those concerns, she recognizes that past experiences can shape how people approach future relationships. She also reflects on opportunities she chose not to pursue, admitting that, in hindsight, some of the people she met may have deserved a second look. Looking back gives her a different perspective on the choices she made at the time. Her story illustrates how expectations can change over the years. The qualities someone overlooks at one stage of life may later become the very qualities they value most, reminding viewers that timing, priorities, and perspective all play a role in how relationships unfold.
I'm the girl before the girlfriend. I wonder if I will always reside here. It's like being the lid loosener. I'll loosely open you up to the idea of wanting love, but then you'll realize you don't want love with me. I'm the test trial. You'll pick me up at night and text me all day, but you'll screw the lid back on and open it back up in a couple of weeks with some new girl who is everything I am not. You use my heart to your advantage, breaking it to pieces over and over again. And then when you leave and find someone else, you will take all the love I gave to you and give it to her. I don't want to be the step stool anymore, using me to get to the top. I don't want to be the girl who teaches you how to love. I want to be the girl who gets it.
So that was actually me reading a poem from my book, Save Me an Orange. And if you like feeling heard and seen, then you're gonna absolutely love this book. And I think there's still a couple copies left in stock, as long as you see the orange cart below.
In one of her most reflective moments, she describes feeling as though she has often been part of someone else's journey rather than the person they ultimately chose to build a future with. It's a deeply personal observation that captures the disappointment she has experienced over time. Rather than keeping those experiences private, she chose to write about them and share the lessons she believes she learned along the way. By turning her personal story into something she could offer others, she transformed a difficult chapter into a new direction for her work. Her timeline highlights how people respond to heartbreak in different ways. Some move on quietly, while others find meaning in sharing their experiences and hoping those stories resonate with people facing similar challenges.
Being a woman in your 50s, I mean, you're no longer relevant anymore. Half the time you're invisible when you're out in public, and you're definitely not considered beautiful anymore because you're not young and beautiful in today's societal standards. At least that's what they want you to believe. And you know what I say to people with those beliefs? F you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. I actually had a friend tell me one time that when women hit their 50s and above, that they become invisible in society. Like, she really said this. I was absolutely horrified. And I was like, no, we don't. Not unless that's where we want to be. If we want to be invisible, we'll be that way. But I would dare say, majority of the women are definitely not that. But what we are is a group of women that don't have to be loud and try to stand out in a crowd because we're secure enough within ourselves to not have to do that. We can stand back and let you young ladies do all that. We don't need to. And the things we're not concerned about, we're definitely not concerned about being a size 2. We are concerned, though, about being healthy.
You know, when women our age, like our age, complain that they're not seen anymore? Like, there was that model who's Gen X or Boomer, really famous model, married to a really famous musician. He had passed away. And she had this whole platform about how now that her looks had diminished, she wasn't seen anymore, and how that was a big problem for her.
As the story continues, she insists that she's confident in her choices and ready to move forward. Yet her reflections reveal a more complicated picture, where confidence and disappointment seem to exist side by side. She also recalls advice from a close friend who saw potential challenges long before they became obvious. Looking back, that conversation carries a different meaning, showing how outside perspectives can sometimes be easier to understand with the benefit of hindsight. Comparing different stages of life, the stories raise an interesting question about how relationships evolve over time. Expectations, priorities, and circumstances change, and what matters at one point in life may not be the same years later. Her journey encourages viewers to consider how those changing expectations can influence both the relationships we build and the lessons we take from them.
Are my eyes swollen, you ask? Oh, well, you should ask. I burst into tears last night over someone I didn't even want. But he ghosted me. So now I want him. Now I'm ruminating and obsessing about it all night long. And I got so frustrated that I started crying.
It's been a hot minute since I've been here on TikTok, but I wanted to pop on to say, I just got ghosted by a 52-year-old man. I rank it a 0 out of 10 as far as experiences go. And yeah, highly do not recommend.
As the story unfolds, she admits that what affected her most wasn't necessarily the end of the relationship itself, but how it ended. Even though she says she wasn't looking for a future with him, being unexpectedly cut off left her searching for answers and questioning what had happened. Looking back, she also reflects on relationships she chose not to pursue, acknowledging that some of those opportunities may have deserved more consideration. With time, her perspective on what makes a meaningful relationship has clearly evolved. Together, these experiences raise a broader question about timing, expectations, and personal choices. Sometimes we only recognize the value of certain qualities after our priorities have changed. Her story doesn't offer a simple conclusion, but it does encourage viewers to think about how our decisions shape the relationships we build and the ones we leave behind.